So, shape language. What do I mean by this? Essentially, what I'm talking about is uh, it kind of gets down to sort of primitive shapes that we've dealt with, like circles, squares, triangles, that sort of thing. So, round shapes are generally considered, they sort of friendly and sort of smooth sort of shapes. They create a sense of sort of well-being. There's not really, a threat necessarily to round shapes as there are to other types of shapes. So, we feel like we are at ease around these round shapes. You see these fruit. There's a reason why they make inspirational stones like this on these round river rocks as opposed to these sort of sharp stones. It's because those round shapes feel comforting, gives a sense of control. So then we have more rectilinear shapes. Rectilinear shapes give us a sense of stability and affordance. We can use these types of shapes. They are platforms for us to stand on. They are walls to put our back against, or doorways to go through, caves to explore. We see affordance in square shapes because they tend to be, explicitly created. Round shapes a lot of times end up sort of in the natural world. Rectangular shapes are explicitly created for a purpose, and so that tends to mean they have a use, or they have a reward to find. As you can see, strength. We build our buildings to feel strong with rectangular shapes. And then finally, diagonal shapes or triangular shapes, and just we have a innate fear of this sort of shape because of the fact that sharp shapes are a threat. So sharp shapes are teeth. They tear at us. Barbed wire, or are difficult, unforgiving environments such as this. It's not very easy to sort of climb this sort of thing, and there's a sense of sharpness that these sort of diagonal shapes can have, but also just diagonal shapes have a feeling of dynamicism. So it feels like almost kind of like they're in motion. In motion, there's a sense of kinetic energy in them, or potential energy. So in a case like this, we've got a house that's leaning, and while it may be stable at this moment, it looks like it could fall over at any time. So there's this tension here. Or this case right here, where this guy's propping this truck up with some 2x4s. It doesn't seem like a very smart idea to be under there, and that we understand that because this diagonal shape, it seems very dangerous to us. So just kind of on a basic level, when we talk about shapes, we kind of go back to sort of these ideas of primitives, that kind of round shapes tend to be non-threatening, calming. Natural shapes often, squarish shapes or rectilinear shapes tend to be things that we can use, or rewards to look for. And then diagonal shapes are shapes with energy, with dynamicism, and also possible danger. So that's just kind of on a basic level how shapes speak to us kind of on kind of a psychological level. So that's a lot of, there's probably other ways that shapes can sort of affect us directly, and I'm sure maybe you can think of some as well. But let's go ahead and talk about now how we can use these. So